The Metaverse. What is my opinion on it and some of the projects that look pretty decent? Hi everyone, welcome to the channel if you're new. Make sure you have subscribed, hit the bell button and leave a like, yeah? Now, I've sorted out my camera so it shouldn't be as hazy now. I've sorted out my autofocus, so it should be better now, hopefully, right? Today's video I want to talk about the Metaverse. I want to talk about what I think it is, where I think we're going with it, and some projects. Now, it's a bit of a mixed bag this, because a Metaverse is kind of, in my opinion, an extension to reality. That's all I think it is. I think we've been here for 20 years anyways. That's my point, right? I believe, personally, I'm not an expert on this, the Metaverse has been around since the days of the internet. Since when you were younger, maybe you may remember this, going on Habbo Hotel and stuff like that, using the likes of the Wii, random stuff, right? Where you are a character and it is all governed by emotion. It's evolved massively since then. I think the Metaverse is majority of the stuff on your phone. Being your perfect self on Instagram, being able to play on a game, being able to get rewarded for doing so is the new caveat to all of this. NFTs is a digital footprint of you. If you don't understand what an NFT is, it is not, in my opinion, art on a random website. It is a digital footprint. That is it. It's a non-fungible token. I've always said this. I believe NFTs are done kind of a bit wrong and a bit skewed. It is a non-fungible token to require ownership of an item that could be put in the digital world. That's an NFT in my opinion, right? Not a drawing that someone's done on Fiverr and you buy it and you don't sell it for $3 million. Why don't you do that? I don't know. Anyways, right, moving forward, we're going to talk a lot about what is happening in corporate worlds. We're going to talk about some projects as well that I've kind of looked at. I saw a few people tweet me about a lot of these projects as well. I'm just going to have a little look. I'm going to show you some of the good things and some of the bad things. We are in a very, very global kind of thing at the minute, which is kind of hyped up due to Facebook, due to other companies as well. Will there be a bubble? That's probably going to be a question. I think there probably is going to be a hype bubble. There always is. By the way, just going to put this point out there right now. Price action doesn't always determine success of a project. It's usually users and the community base. If the project in cryptocurrency has a good utility and it is then going to create good price action due to that network effect, it'll be all right. But sometimes it doesn't always transpire. Sometimes you get really, really good games and really good players you earn sort of things, elements to it that are cool, but don't always see the light of day. So you need to choose some things here a little bit different. Do you want a good project that you enjoy playing and earning, or do you want a good project that you invest in and make money? That's a question I want to give you, and you can think about that yourself. Anyways, to the screen we go, eh? So today, the market is somewhat correcting. So I thought, it'd be a great place to start. Just be careful, right? So if you are genuinely looking to learn how to do certain things in the market, make sure you check out Learning Crypto. There's a nice Black Friday sale that could be of interest to you. Anyways, let's start. Because the rumble started to come anyways when Facebook decided to go, we are changing our company name to Meta, right? They want to be the evolving kind of ecosystem that is going to continuously grow. I've seen an image of Mark Zuckerberg walking through a hall and everyone was in the Oculus, right? I've got an Oculus. It's pretty cool, right? Love it. But we need to be careful here. Just because it's hyped up doesn't mean it's going to be, as I've mentioned before, price action oriented, right? There's a lot of videos on here. I would highly urge you to check it out to understand what the obvious signs are. Obviously, virtual reality, augmented reality, smart glasses, all kinds of. These are brilliant, by the way. So definitely have a look. But we need to talk about other things as well, because Nike have been doing some very interesting filings. 7 trademark applications for the Metaverse. So that's one big thing. Another one is, I think it's Mesh for Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft are also in the game. It's kind of, it's coming, right? We know it's already here, but that's the thing. We are in cryptocurrency. It's a little bit different for us, isn't it? We can do different things. Now, in my Patreon today, I'm going to do a full overview of Decentraland. which is quite an old project, but I want to go over it because it's kind of cool, even though it's kind of already heavily priced, but it's been quite requested on my Patreon, so I thought I'll do that. I have picked out a load of different coins, but let's just go through this. In terms of this, right, we have a Metaverse tab now on CoinMarketCap. There's a lot of projects. Now, these all vary. They vary from digital footprints, they vary from NFT platforms, they vary from the likes of Plays You Earn, you know, overall ecosystems as well. That's the element to it. There's a lot of things going on, but there's a lot of interesting stuff when you go lower and lower, where they are just games, realistically. And I've mentioned some of these games before in old videos that have kind of came alive, which is kind of cool in a way. But that's the thing, like Rev, for example, which is an F1 and a MotoGP one from years ago, right? Mention that, you play the game, you get rewarded in the Rev tokens. It's old, right? But here we are, back in 2021 and nearly 2022, and this is now all the age. Cool, right? So, let's talk about a few things. First one that comes to mind is obviously Engine Coin. I mentioned this before because of Affinity, right? You can buy this now, but you can also get the crowd loan. What is this? You're probably wondering. Well, just before we go a bit deeper, this is going to be a crowd loan regarding, and I don't know if I can get onto the main thing, but either way, right, doesn't matter. I can tell you what it is. This is like an ecosystem for the NFT world. NFTs will be the digital kind of property that you can hold, not so much hold, but have in this meta reality, this metaverse reality, which is kind of interest. Now, if you don't know what Engine Coin is, by the way, this is kind of like the leading kind, well, not so much the leading, but it's done NFTs first, essentially. It's been one of the first platforms around. It's pretty cool. Now, they have games, they have all kinds of stuff, and that's what the Affinity token on the Polkadot ecosystem is going to do, which will get rid of all those clunky, crappy fees, which we all hate and love and dislike and want to kill, right? So that's going to be massively important. Moving on to the next one, Sandbox. This has been around for quite a while now, about 2-3 years, and this is the thing. Already, you can see there's a lot of things going on, and Sandbox, a typical kind of Plays You Earn kind of game, pretty cool, right? The virtual metaverse, and there's a lot of things on here. Obviously, NFTs, you got, you know, certain games. Obviously, you've seen already The Walking Dead, you got Snoop Dogg Smurfs, Hell's Kitchen, Roller Coaster Tycoon World, Atari. Always good to see, right? But again, it is all governed by a token, which is, you know, essentially what you can buy. More people that use it, the more ecosystem-based element to it, the Murphy's Law element to it. It's kind of interesting to see that this has been doing pretty well. And again, it's, you know, $2.2 billion in terms of market cap worth. Obviously, fully diluted a bit more than that. But we could see some interesting price action as maybe the community world of the gaming situation moves over into crypto and want to get paid for some gameplay, which is pretty interesting. So dynamic wise, could there be a change in consoles? Could there be a change in all of that, which I think could be pretty cool? Now, I'm going to go back in time a long time now, right? This reminds me, right? In 2017, there was a company, or not so much a company, a coin called Electronium, right? You probably know it. I battered it for ages because I thought it was brilliant, and then they changed everything. They had a mechanism where in their first version of the white paper, they wanted to put it on consoles. They wanted to basically make it so you can mine by playing a game, right? Or having your phone. Virtual mining, right? It's kind of a bit of a gimmick, but they were on the right lines in terms of being able to play as you earn, and obviously if you were playing your game, you can earn the token, which was kind of a cool point. But they scrapped the white paper and they went down a different direction. This is why I hated it. The main reason why I invested in it was because of that, because I was a gamer. So yeah, that's kind of reminded me of that. So maybe, who knows what could happen in the future, certainly when Facebook are in the game. Next one, Ultra, UOS. This is probably the one that I like the most, if I'm going to be honest, in terms of gaming, right? If I'm thinking gaming. So I think this is pretty cool. I like the look of it. I think it's slick, it's clean, and this is the thing, right? This is it. This is where I think the metaverse is going to take off in terms of like normies. Let's talk about us as, right, we are the pioneers, we are the early adopters, and you got the normies. The normies are like the muggles of the Harry Potter world, right? Where they're not quite into it, but they'll get into it if you give them enough of a carrot. The carrot could be a referral. You can earn some cryptocurrency by doing this. You can do all kinds of stuff, and you can play with me in such a different way, an environment where it is totally different to you've ever experienced in your life. That is kind of where we could be bringing new people into the cryptocurrency space, because you got to think that little carrot could be a little bit of crypto. That little crypto then could be sold into Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever it may be. Then they are now a cryptocurrency holder. That is where it kind of goes. And this is why I like the likes of Ultra, for example. And this is probably one that I'm probably going to keep an eye on most. I'm going to do a bit more of a deep dive on it, but that's just me being honest to tell you that I do like it. Another one that I have mentioned on my channel before is Veracity. This is another one that I do like the look of because it is an ecosystem. It is like FIFA. I like FIFA. You know that esports and stuff. I'm a bit of a geek. I'm a big F1 fan. I like watching the F1 esports. I think it's great competition. Not so much FIFA and stuff like that, but more for racing. I think racing's more pure. But again, this is another element where you've got a whole array of partnerships, a whole array of information that could be thrown at you. And when we look at the success of obviously FIFA and stuff like that, brilliant. You know, it's not really ranked very high, so maybe adoption could be one to look at. And I know the community is ridiculously passionate about this, and I don't blame them because I think they're onto something pretty good here. So another one that I do like the look of, and again, could be quite mainstream in the metaverse in terms of competition, you know, all that kind of stuff like that. And you've got, you know, their own wallet, they've got their own TV station, they stake it, and obviously the esports. Now, a warning. This is probably one of the worst websites I've ever seen in my life, but in terms of what it is, it's all right, right? So just a warning: if you've got epilepsy, look away. It will give you motion sickness. It's horrendous, but this is a game. This is a game that is backed and obviously built on, you know, Polygon, which is good because for obvious reasons it's less fees. But this is a whole new ecosystem game where you can essentially, you know, obviously bring your NFTs to life, play as you earn, learn, earn, income, yeah, bit of fun, bit of everything, right? You can do a bit of everything, right? Which is kind of cool. But the website is, who thought, right? Come on. If anyone's like going to jump in my video and explain to me why pink, black, and a shadow looks good, I mean, I'm struggling to read that. My eyes are not great, but that is bad. Anyways, moving on. So this has got a full token utility, which is pretty cool. And again, network effect is going to be important. So we're at in my opinion, the early stages on a lot of these projects. This one's been around for a while, and I've mentioned this before, Luxo, right? This is a digital economy. This is where you can basically build stuff, have stuff, NFTs, that could be your own property, that could then be digitally footprinted on the blockchain. This was built by a very, very, you know, at the end of the day, one of the key founders of one of the main standards in the Ethereum token, which is the ERC20. And when we talk about universal profiles, this is the thing. This is the different side to obviously the metaverse in terms of you as an identity, and then digital certificates and stuff like that, and then obviously currencies. Not so much play as you earn, but the kind of the functionality to allow that to kind of come about. Definitely look at it. I like the look of this one as well. Moving on to something a bit more interesting is the name, more to the point. PYR, we're going to just call it. And again, this is another one where a lot of people are talking about it. Play, build, collaborate, earn, and build your own ideas, building a blockchain and a DApp application. Basically, playable games, play as you earn. A lot of information thrown at you very, very quickly. A lot of platforms, a lot of marketplaces. And again, we're starting to see a lot of this because it makes sense, right? We've got to start scaling. We've got to start getting away from Ethereum, which is why I like Affinity, as I mentioned before. And again, you know, great. You can play the game and earn a token. Winner. Next one. This is another one that's been going mad. Just look at this the last month. Ping. So this is on the Polkadot ecosystem. This is Kusama. And yeah, this is pretty cool, right? Look at this. So when we start talking about this, we're talking about a lot of things in terms of an NFT network and everything. So a set of NFT Legos, essentially, to build a system, right? This is very, very interesting. This could be like, look at this. Like already you can start to see like a whole ecosystem getting built on the world of Kusama. And here's a roadmap, what they're aiming to achieve. They've already got some, you know, quite a decent chunk of partnerships essentially. Already Moon River, Karura, Bifrost. You can see what's happening here. This is, as I mentioned, it's on Kusama, a little bit different. It'll be run different to the Ethereum network and certainly could be of interest to a lot of people. But building this could be great fun. You know, when we start looking at this in terms of like tokens and stuff. Oh, hello. Polkadot.js opening up. You can see how it kind of works. So here we go. Maximum supply as it is on KSM, 10 million tokens, no inflation. Token is deflationary by design, which is pretty interesting. So you can see here, this could get a massive scarcity effect. Minting, Metaverse currency. It's obviously, you know, part of the DAO, which is obviously important. DeFi collateral, multi-chain. Oh God, this could be interesting. So definitely worth a look at. And again, just to give you an idea, it is only 254 million market cap. So definitely worth to keep an eye on. But that's it. That's all I want to talk about. I could fall down the rabbit hole and talk about a lot of these games. Now, for me, personal opinion, I'm more into the gaming side of it more than anything to earn instead of the NFT side of it. However, as I've said before, I will probably back an ecosystem. Why? Because I think this is important. If you're looking at this, I think it's right to have an ecosystem. And one of the main ones, you got two. You've obviously got this one, kind of cool. And then you got this one, essentially. Certainly for Polkadot, if you're interested. But I'm more interested in this one because of the speed, the transactions, and the fact it's already established. But I've already mentioned it on another video. I'm going to probably jump in that crowd line anyways, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, the Metaverse, a whole new world that is coming to us very, very quickly. Make sure you understand it before you jump in. Price action isn't everything. Go for enjoyment.